All right, someone in the house puked. This mom of 17 years is here to help. How do you help prevent that puke? Mentally, what place do you need to get to? Because I think some parents would be like, just let everybody get it. Let it run its course.
Well, there is part of it is like,
got to build up that
Andy's
herd immunity.
6 in his house. Like I was dealing with 4, right? There is part of it you're like, let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
You know, like all of us.
Yeah.
And then we can move on.
The problem is we had one kid that wouldn't get it over with.
Yeah, exactly. The first kid. The funniest thing was, I just remembered this. I remember one time we did get the stomach flu, puking, and we were both puking. And you were in the bathroom and I was puking in the hallway. In the moment,
man.
You're like, I can't make it to the kitchen sink. But sorry, you set me up and asked a question about puke.
Yeah.
I'll go back to that.
Sick. Caring for a sick child.
I think
because that's kind of the theme of this episode.
The first thing is you want to get them on tile.
Yeah.
Got to get them off the carpet and the... Carpet and rugs are your enemy.
Yeah.
Tile.
So key number 1 for a puke kid, Mel says, get him off the carpet. Get him on tile.
Second thing is, of course, you have like a puke bowl, but then you're like, how do I clean the puke bowl? Because like using like your kitchen scrubber feels wrong. That you clean your dishes with.
Yeah.
So what I did, first you're doing a pouring thing. It's the nastiest thing in the world. But then you want to spray it. The toilet.
Yeah. Oh, the toilet makes sense. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Then you want to spray it with like bleach, whatever. I mean, ideally some sort of bleach mix. And then you take some paper towels and you're going to clean that out with the paper towels before you add dish soap. And then you're probably going to clean it with paper towels, not your kitchen scrubber.
Yeah.
Because that cleans your dishes.
Yep.
So it's a lot of plastic gloves.
Yeah.
The spray bleach will be your best friend. Because you just leave it for like 5 minutes. But if you look, they actually want you to then clean it with soap and water, like all these surfaces. But you're like, I bleached it. Like, that's how I'm
that's the superpower.
And then it's just the surfaces, the doorknobs, the light switches, like everything in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And a lot of mopping.
And then for you, you know what kills bacteria? Little whiskey. Old-fashioned remedy right there. Little whiskey. I can feel it killing the germs. It's creating a different problem.
Very hydrating. So it's a lot of plastic bags,
gloves,
plastic gloves, paper towels, bleach, trash runs, and then like the brat diet. Yeah, you know, you gotta try. None of my kids like Pedialyte. But like, there's Propel, there's something with some electrolytes. Yeah. And just like little sips. Like I was giving them like cups like this with ice and water and straws. And I was like, take little sips. Yeah. Like, do not chug this.
I think
you'll be right back in the bathroom.
And I actually think that you did get the sickness. But the mom in you was just like, I don't have time for this.
Well, there is part of it that you're like, I could just get it over with.
Right.
You know? But I think I just got like the fatigue and the like headache and sore throat. And then my stomach prevailed. Yeah. Yeah. But also, I'm like eating in the corner of the kitchen, like away from everyone, like secretly. Yeah. I'm having cold cuts from the fridge because if I heat it up, they're going to smell it and want it and they can't eat it. So I'm like, and I'm also like not eating or drinking very much because I have a mask on. Right. You know?
That makes sense. So those are practical tips.
And you got to keep an ear because every time you called me, Claire would be like, Mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, your kid doesn't need you till you get on the phone, right? Yeah. So what? So those.
That's I guess, and then you just got to keep an ear on them always.
Right.
Because in the middle of the night, I would be like, even with our teens, I was like, you got to tell me if you're like puking because I got to go sanitize.
Right.
You know, or diarrhea. I'm like, you got to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Do not tell me.
Yeah.
You have to re-clean this bathroom before the next person gets
That's
in
how
there.
depressing sickness is. Like, you'll call and be like, it's getting better. We've switched from puke to diarrhea. So that's progress, I guess.
And then in a family, you're like, don't share food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the healthy person should be prepping the food. You know, so, and it's a lot of hand washing.
But who's the healthy person at a certain point? We're all exposed.
At one point, you're like cleaning up nasty stuff with plastic gloves, but then you're like, but how do I get it outside? Now, do I open the door? Then I got to clean the door, but then I got to take off the gloves, but then I got to wash my hands.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
The germs are everywhere.
I hadn't even thought of this. On the Facebook group, Joy said, Christine said, literally this weekend, no one tells you vacuuming vomit chunks out of the washing machine would be part of parenthood.
Oh my gosh. That's a new problem.
Yeah,
That's in your vacuum.
Yeah.
And God bless moms with newborns in cars. You know, if the kids are sick in the car, like you've got all kinds of crevices that are on another level.
This came up again.
Yeah.
Julie said, my 17-year-old son got it last month. I had to clean it up with so many hot dog pieces on the floor out of the washing machine. This keeps coming up the washing machine. There are a little bit of hot dog jerkies in the dryer.
Well, that is true. You're just like, okay, now you're going to be doing laundry around the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sheets, the towels, the clothes, and then they're like, well, you got to separate it all.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Shay got it. They got it on Christmas on the Facebook group. So that's practical. Those are tips. All very helpful tips. And I think we're going to edit that into a nice little guideline, I think. What about emotional tips on how to care for your sick children? Where do you go?
I don't have any emotional
Where do you need to go to? What would you recommend to a mom of where to go to mentally? You know? Like, are you like special ops,
I guess,
like Navy SEAL? Like, all I see is the mission?
Yeah.
Are you
tunnel vision or something?
Tunnel vision, yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's very hard to like fall asleep at night when you're like, I might be puking tonight.
Yeah.
Or one of my kids might be puking tonight. Neither one of those scenarios are fun.